Should the Vols have a balanced attack or just play conservative in the college football playoff? I feel like I'm getting set up with this one, Caleb, because I feel so certain that you're going to go with aggressive as you tend to do. But I don't think that you're going to do that. I think you're going to throw me off.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to throw you off.
Oh, my goodness.
So there's two types of conservative guys, by the way. And when I talk conservative, I talk win probabilities because I'm an analytics guy. So that's why I'm always for going for it on fourth down. But there's a difference in conservative between like not punting as much and conservative between like throwing versus running a lot. Is that fair to say, Dave?
Yes.
I think Tennessee should run in this game. I'm talking they should not put the ball in the air 20 times, and they should keep it on the ground 45 times at a minimum in this game.
I agree with that. And I guess we're supposed to have different hot takes, but I'm with you as well. I think that this offense needs to be very ground-based. They may pop a couple like they did against Vanderbilt. That'd be all well and good and everything. But that's 50, 60, 70-yard plays aren't going to be the bread and butter. It's going to be the 4, 5, and 6-yard running plays.
Totally agree. And I think the thing that the Michigan game showed me is this. And I think you would agree with me on this, Dave, don't get down on yourself if you're just getting 3 yards in a cloud of dust every play and you're having to punt on fourth down and you're getting a lot of 3 and outs. That's fine if it's in the first half and you're keeping it close. Because I think, and this is where I'm sticking to my guns on this, I think Tennessee's deeper in the trenches than Ohio State is. So I think in the second half, Ohio State's defensive line is going to wear down before Tennessee's defensive line wears down. So if you can stick to the ground, I think by the fourth quarter, those 3-yard, 4-yard gains are going to turn into 9 and 10-yard gains.
We are always quick to jump on Josh Heupel when he calls too many of those tunnel screens or when he calls some plays we don't like. But I don't think we give him enough credit for what he did on the offensive line with the issues at tackle. And bringing in Dane Davis to spell those guys at tackle for just a few plays has really changed this entire football team. And you're talking about 2 offensive tackles in Campbell and Hurd that were both dealing with ankle injuries. And that's, as far as a nagging injury, that's one of the worst an offensive lineman can have.
Yeah, no, you're right. And Dane Davis seems to be to tackle what Ollie Lane was to the interior line for Tennessee. We just had Ollie Lane because wasn't Ollie? He was a utility guy. Basically what they said was, Ollie, we don't have this guy's hurt here. Can you fill in for the day? And he'd have to move around. And they've been asking Dane Davis to do that for a while. And you're right. He gets a ton of credit. And this is why. But he also gets a ton of credit, with this topic, Dave. The reason I believe he'll do it, Josh Heupel's shown he's willing to stay conservative. I don't think Josh Heupel. I want to know, you know a little bit more about his personality than I do. Do you think he has an instinct of wanting to score 70 points, or do you think he actually has an instinct of, no, I will run it 45 times if I have to win a game?
I know for a fact that he has Tennessee Sports Information put out a lot of the stuff they put out, like about his offense. You can tell when he practically wrote one himself. And so I think he wants to score a lot of points, but I don't think he has to score a lot of points. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I think Bill Belichick could have won without Randy Moss. He almost won it all with Randy Moss, but nobody would say Bill Belichick had to have Randy Moss to win, right?
No, nobody would have said that. And I'm of the mindset. It's funny because most of the time during the season when it's warm weather, things like that, I like seeing. I enjoy the offense. I like seeing teams score 70 points and Tennessee score 60, whatever. Isn't there something kind of like appealing though about playing a conservative football game in the cold weather where you win like 13-7, just like running like those old school. One of my favorite rivalries to watch back in the day, Dave, was when Ben Roethlisberger was there and it was Ray Lewis, the Ravens-Steelers rivalries, and they were always like 10-7 games. Those were like the most beautiful football games to watch, weren't they?
Yeah,
during that time.
I don't think you could go back and do that now, though. I think the rules have been changed so much in the passing game where you've got to.
So you don't think Tennessee could do that on Saturday? I think they really could.
So. I'm sorry. I thought you were referring to the NFL. I don't think you can't take football and move backwards. I think you can play a bit more conservatively, but you're still going to do a lot of RPOs because of the way they don't call down the blocking.
Yeah, although I think with the way the game has changed, and I think this is why Heupel's running it more, and you're seeing it in the NFL, and you brought this up, teams have adjusted so much to stop the pass that they're now too soft against the run. And
yeah. Oh, and don't forget this too. What happened at Mississippi State when they had a rest in peace, Mike Leach.
Mike Leach.
When they had to replace him, what did they do?
They went for defense and almost the anti-Mike Leach, weirdly enough.
Right. So I think that you're going to see a lot of teams go along those lines of how they build a program. I'm not saying they should hire Jeremy Pruitt, but I think you're going to see more teams that make those hires not be for this next hiring cycle. I don't think they're going to be as worried about the offensive wonderkins, like the Southern Cal coach and all that. I mean,
Lincoln Riley, who is like, have you seen the disaster at USC? They're losing everybody to the portal.
It's a fiasco.
And Josh Pate brought this up. Dave, funny enough, 15 years ago, if you were told that the college football would become the Wild West where you could just buy players with advertisers and things like that, wouldn't you think USC would have been the best positioned to dominate that era out in SoCal?
Actually, no, because I've been out there a couple of times and their athletes, there's no presence whatsoever. And I don't know how you could possibly put an athlete at Southern Cal that's nobody that anybody knows of, how you could put him in front of an athlete that is LeBron James or something. The space is so tight.
You don't think like Hollywood advertisers would see any value in the USC athletes because there's just because that's what I thought. I thought the sell of Hollywood, but I guess you're right. Like Hollywood's like, we got way bigger fish that we can prop out than college football athletes.
Well, Caleb, remember this too. Nashville's about as big as Hollywood now. I mean, it's got a lot of people are moving to Nashville. So I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not like that's helping Vanderbilt with NIL.
Oh, good.
So I mean, it's and Nashville's turning into. I mean, look, having been there, like the people moving to Nashville, they don't care about college football the way the people who are from Nashville, like or whose roots are in Nashville, do. There's a lot more. I mean, it's interesting. Like the greater Nashville is Vol country, but I feel like the actual city where like a lot of these, shall we say, like Yankees are moving to, I feel like there's more interest in the Titans and the Vols around that crew. Interestingly enough. So, I mean, it's weird how that plays out, but yeah, to your point, getting back to it, I think we're at a level where we might start seeing, do you think we're almost at a level where we're going to see offensive coordinators get hired, not based on how many points they're putting up, but how efficient their offense is? Or do you think people will still look at offensive coordinators based on whether or not they put up 50 points a game?
No, I can see what you said, how efficient, because I think the running game's coming back. We've already seen it in the NFL, and I think that's just the ebb and flow. So I think you're going to see the running game coming back. And when you've got Josh Heupel putting together a defense like he's putting together, he obviously sees that that's the way to win, right?
Yeah, and also that's how Josh Heupel won his national title. Is his defense was elite and he did what he needed to do. So I think he has an appreciation for that. And look, there is something that's just beautiful about it. And Tennessee's got the defensive line that is really good. OSU's banged up on the offensive line. I think the hard thing for Josh Heupel, do you think he can do this? He's smelling blood in the first half because Ohio State, Tennessee's defensive line is keeping it close. And it's like a 3-3 game. And Heupel's smelling blood. Do you think he can avoid taking the shot that he really wants to take downfield?
I still think you need to take the shot. You can take a couple of shots, 2 or 3 a half. Brought to you by Doctors Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Hahn. Look at me, LASIK, no contact, no glasses. Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Hahn. Local vision correction done best.
The first step to better vision is to visit ccteyes.com. The information you need is easy to access, and setting an appointment is as simple as clicking the tab. Doctors Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Hahn, and Eye Care Optical at CCT.
All right, we'll get to college football rooting interest as it's the first weekend of the college football playoff ever, the 12-team version. It's only 8 more teams, but doesn't it sound so much more robust than 4 teams?
Maybe I wanted 8. I only wanted 8 teams. I don't like the 12-team playoff, though. You're talking to the Grinch who thinks that college football ruined their regular season for this expanded playoff. So it's 4 did still sound kind of off. I would have rather just had I think the 14 playoff. I think the BCS was better than the 14 playoff, but I think that I think 8 was the magic number. Either 8 or go back to the BCS. 4 and 12 is just annoying. Sorry to be the Grinch. But I mean, again, we get some December cold weather games that are like an NFL playoff atmosphere. So have fun with that, I guess. You ruin top 10 matchups in the regular season that no one's going to watch anymore because people know they're both going to the playoff. But congratulations, you get a nice little extra December game out of it that has tickets at $35. Did you know, Dave, that the Penn State SMU tickets are $35 right now?
Is that right?
Yes. Did you know that the ReliaQuest Bowl game between Alabama and Michigan is as expensive as Tennessee, Ohio State, and Texas Clemson?
Well, good job, bowl games.
I told you guys, I underestimated how right I was, guys. The only time I've ever been wrong is when I'm wrong about how right I am. Exactly. And the truth is, I said college football playoff would be exciting in December, but it would devalue the regular season. Well, it turns out it's not even exciting in December because, I mean, if you're a fan of the team, that's fine, but people aren't caring to go to these games. I mean,
people are going to the games.
Dave, that's NCAA tournament basketball March Madness ticket prices right now. Okay. So I'm sorry. Like, you have $35 tickets. First of all, your ratings are going to be cannibalized by people watching some NFL playoff games on Saturday. And you sacrificed the entire regular season for this extra week of games that aren't even driving the ticket prices the way you want. Also,
I think they're doing it pretty good. I think, and at the end of the day, it's going to be about television ratings. It's not going to be about tickets sold. That's the gate. It's not the primary revenue driver.
I mean, yeah, but the only game that's going to be highly rated is tonight's game, Notre Dame SMU. They're competing with NFL games tomorrow.
Yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense.